Views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
G morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of Open. I'm Rina Valentin, your host en Café con Leche. This Friday morning, Open is, of course, the one and only talk show bringing the best the Bronx, New York, and the world has to offer, just for you. And here's a taste of what we have today. First, all the fun activities happening around town in the Open Weekend Preview. Then we sit down to discover a holistic approach to businesses. A new children's book reinvigorates a classic folk tale. And all the best in sports with Bobby C's Sports Roundup after that. And we end the show with a bright open artist spotlight. So sit back, chillax, and get ready for the ride because now we are officially open. Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Open Friday. I'm Rina Valentin, your host en Café con Leche for the next hour. And, remember, we're always reminding you to stay in touch with us. Check us out on Twitter. That's at BronxNet TV, or on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And don't forget to tweet me personally at Rina Valentin. I'm looking forward to reading those tweets. All right, so now's the time you get your notepad handy. Because, well, we're going to figure out what to do. That's right, what to do. It is now time for our Open Weekend Preview. First up, International Family Day. Kids, activities, games, food, clowns, face painting, balloon art, live music and entertainment, and so much more. Oh my goodness, I want to be there. That's happening on Friday, August 18th from 12 to 6 p.m. at DeWitt Clinton High School on Golden Avenue off Marshallou Parkway in the Bronx. And for more info and to RSVP, you can call 917-640-1003. Next, we have Orchard Beach Summer Concert Series. That's presented by WPAT 93.FM and WSKQ 97.9 FM, and they're featuring Michael Stewart. And well, that's all taking place at Orchard Beach on the stage in the Bronx on Sunday, August 11th, and that's happening from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And for more information, you can check out ilovethebronx.com. Ismael Miranda will be at Lehman Center. Woo! The most recorded salsa singer in the world, and Andy Montanez, the godfather de la salsa, come together for the greatest concert in the Bronx. That's happening on Saturday, August 17th at 8 p.m. at the Lehman Center for the Performing Arts. The Lehman Center is located on the campus of Lehman College in the Bronx, and that's 250 Bedford Park Boulevard, West in the Bronx. And for tickets and other information, you can check out lehmancenter.org. And finally, we have Eddie Montalvo's concert. 52 people for Progress and BronxWorks are teaming up to present a fantastic concert on Sunday. The Outside event will take place on Sunday, August 11th at 7 p.m. at Jackson Avenue on East 149th Street, and you can email them at dpratt@nyc.rr.com. I hope you had your pen for that one, and I hope you were able to jot all those options down. That's right, lots of choices for you, so make sure you get out and enjoy. And so we're gonna give a big shout out to our DJ in the house, our studio DJ Vince Bracey, who is sticking it out with me this summer, that's right, with his rhythmic beats for us on Friday mornings. And you know, just because, you know, obviously the music kind of complements the show, you know, I always wanted to ask you, like, how do you select your music every week? Do you line it up according to your week, or do you just vibe in the moment, or actually do viewers like you send any requests to DJ Vince Bracey? Do you get any requests?
That is a good question, Rena. Actually, you know, when I first started, you know, DJing for you on Fridays, I would just pick up, you know, whatever I thought would go well with the show, or if we had a special guest, I would make sure I, you know, played some of their music or music like theirs. I've also taken requests from people in the studio, but I think it would be a good idea to take requests from people outside the studio also.
You know what? I like that idea. So where do you think they should write to us to put in their music requests? Open television on Facebook, or
that sounds
Twitter?
either open television on Facebook or open, what is it, open at BronxNet?
Yes, it's
or also,
yes.
I mean, you could hit me up at Vince Bracey. Feel
That's
free,
right, or
on
me
Twitter.
at Rena Valentine.
There you go.
However, you know, just for the sake of like having it all in like an immediate, well, actually, you should just open. You have 4 options. That's
Right.
it. Yeah, we have open television, at Open BronxNet
Yes.
TV, at Rena Valentine, at Vince Bracey.
Plenty of
we're
options
all
to
gonna
get
read
your
it,
requests
so,
out there.
right? But here's the thing. You know what I'm really feeling right now?
What's that?
That you're playing "Good Girl" for me.
Oh, yes. Blurred
That was
Lines
my
by Robin
request.
Thicke. It's a
That
great
was-
song. It's really popular right
I
now.
know, it is very popular. That's why I was asking, like, you know, just recently there was like this really big blast that went out with Jimmy Fallon
Right.
and this song
On his show, right? He
that
did a,
they
he did a
actually
really cool version.
they played it with like kids instruments.
Yes, that's like extremely talented. I don't know how long it took them to plan that out, but it turned out really good.
And what's this guy's name again? It's Keith
Robin Thicke?
Robin Thicke. Why
Robin-
did you say Thicke? No, his father is
Alan Thicke.
Alan Thicke,
from
right?
Growing Pains.
From Growing Pains,
One of my
right?
favorite
So
shows.
Robin Thicke. How could I forget? I mean, this is like the popular. You know, he's the one that all the ladies are screaming
Oh
for,
yes.
right?
Oh yes.
And he's definitely got his swag going on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
His video was kind of racy too. I don't know if you saw the video.
No, I
for
haven't
this.
seen the video. I just saw the Jimmy Fallon thing, and I thought it was the coolest thing. And it made me think of you because I'm saying,
Aw.
okay, how does Vince pick his music? You know, like, 'cause you actually go according to like your own flow. And I was wondering, like, sometimes we're dealing with music that is popular right now and
Right.
music that was popular back then, which,
yes.
you know, I don't mind, even though I live in denial about my age and all that other good stuff.
I try to be all over the board with it.
Yeah, I'm digging the shades today.
Oh, yes.
Even though it's really gray and cloudy
I had to make it
outside.
seem like it was sunny out.
All right. Let the sun shine in.
Yes.
Woo, Vince Bracey in the house, everybody. All right, we do have to take a quick break, but we will be right back with a look at holistic approaches to businesses. But first, check out the newest episode of Rena Gets Lean. In the first season of Rena Gets Lean, we went on an adventure and tried out different methods of training and eating to develop a healthier lifestyle. While on that journey, we discovered the level of commitment it takes. So join me in season 2 as we continue to explore and form new habits to reach destination Rena Gets Lean. Today we are at the Riverdale Y, which took me like a bus, 2 trains, and a bus to get to. But I'm really excited because we're gonna learn some belly dance, or actually we're gonna exercise a la belly dance style, because you know what? I was a gypsy in my past life. I'm putting on this coin belt that I actually had to go deep in my closet to find, that's been stored away forever. I'm happy. All right, I didn't put this on right. There's a certain way that you're supposed to wear it because it's supposed to accentuate your hips. And I'm not feeling very sexy. I'm still working on that aspect. And there's this other part that kind of just embraced the gypsy. I like it. I haven't worn it in a while. and I haven't shaked like this in a while. Here I am in Nora Sham's belly dance class. Nora and I have been working together for very many years. She has been like my trademark belly dancer in all of the events that I've ever done. She is the belly dancer, the master, and here I am actually taking classes from her this time. The way the class is designed is through this technique called isolation, in where you separate your upper body from your midsection and your lower section. We're going across the room now. I'm already tired. It doesn't look like you're doing much, but when you're doing it, you can feel it. I'm working that area that, I tend to complain about, that area that's, got air trapped in it. It was quite challenging for me to look at these two cuties behind me, just like, no struggles whatsoever. And, and I'm already sweating from just doing an isolation. I'm like, oh my God, what is that about? What? I'm always good on one side. Yeah. I'm already tired. And now we're gonna do a drum solo as the grand finale. And it requires choreography and isolation and technique and extension and all of that. And while I swear I have all of that down packed, truth is that, the lesson learned is repetition and consistency. And that is really what I'm taking away with me. I'm inspired to pull out the DVDs from the closet where I found the coin belts and just, do the reps at home. Just do the reps at home and just, do it in the mirror and just keep it going and, and maybe pull on a crown or just feel like a queen and belly dance around the house. Yeah. Now that I was able to do isolation while exercising the gypsy in me, time to do full body with Soul Grow Fit Boot Camp in the next episode of Rena Gets Lean. Woo! We are motivated. That was inspiring. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And of course, you can view other episodes of Rena Gets Lean by going to bronxnet.org. All right, Veronica Drake is done with the rough and tumble world of corporate businesses. And, well, why is it so stressful when it doesn't have to be or need to be? Certified in law of attraction and making use of her BA in spiritual counseling, this intuitive business consultant took it on herself to change that with a new look at how to succeed in business. Please welcome Veronica Drake. Hello.
Hi, Rena.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
We are very excited to have you here. Now, with regards to, associating business with spirituality, can you share of an experience or something that you may have gone through as a woman in business that inspired you to even design this package?
Sure. I have always been the square peg in the round hole. I don't like to be told what to do, which made it very difficult to have an employer.
Right.
I did very well at all the jobs I was at, but there came a time, and I think I was about 38 when I decided that I wanted to row my own boat. It was time to do my own thing, to step out and to be courageous.
Nice. We like captains.
Yes, and what I learned is everything that I've taken and put my heart and soul into teaching other women, because it's really important to me that women understand that they have the ability to create their own economy and not to be beholden to what's happening in the economy.
Now, what's interesting about your program or your coaching, for lack of a better word, is that you are actually coming from this place of utilizing things that are not necessarily tangible or visible.
Absolutely. Square peg, round hole. I am an intuitive, and what does that mean? That does not mean that I boil chicken bones and shrink heads.
Right.
I am a very normal person.
Nice.
And we all have the ability to be intuitive. And my work consists of meeting a client and tapping into their energy. Everything is energy in the universe. And so when I meet a client, I can tap in and I can see what's blocking her, what's stopping her, what story is she telling herself. And so energetically, I connect with her, and it really creates an ease and a simplicity about the relationship. And most times we're conscious of something happening that's stopping us, but we're not sure how to go about excavating it. And so I like to think of myself as the excavator, the energetic excavator.
That's very interesting, and you know, just to dive in a little further, like when you say energy, are you referencing like the colors of the aura, or like just actually separating the body? Like what exactly are you tapping into when you say the energetic field?
Sure. Everything vibrates. We all have a vibrational force around us. And literally, when I'm with someone, I can feel the vibrational force. And there are two ways we can vibrate. We can vibrate at a high frequency, which is the positive, joyful, or we can vibrate at a negative, a low frequency. And so I can actually pick up and feel your vibration. I've been in situations where women have started their businesses and they'll call me on the phone to work, because I work internationally, and they'll be speaking positivity, but they'll be vibrating at a very low energy. And so I'm very helpful that way to create awareness around that. So it's a feel.
Right, you know, and how are you able to actually differentiate that? How are you able to, because, you know, yes, you speak positively, and, you know, with the hopes that speaking positively, you manifest positive things.
Sure.
But then if you're operating at a low frequency, not knowing that you're operating at a low frequency, how do you come in and actually identify that?
Absolutely, great question. I go right to the heart of the matter. There are 5 words that I use when I feel energy with a client. And one of those words will trigger something so that she will vibrate and feel something in her literal physical body. So one of those 5 words would be love, security, status, recognition, or validation. And so I
I got to
have
write them down. Love, security, recognition,
status, or validation.
or validation.
And so I have what I call the intuitive voice method. And what that is I take you on a journey inside yourself. So if I were to say to you, Rena, how are you feeling today? And we say that a lot. You would say to me, oh, I'm feeling great, or I'm feeling, but with me, I'm going to ask you to go one step further. Show me inside of you where great feels. Take me to that place in your body. Put a descriptor to it. Let's really get into what great feels like. Because by creating awareness around how we feel affects our thoughts, and our thoughts become our actions.
Nice. So are we referencing role playing?
I'm not sure that it would be. It could be a
I'm
form,
just-
yeah.
because, like,
Yeah.
going back to self-limiting thoughts, right? Self-limitation, and being a product of your environment, and the environment affecting or establishing that ceiling.
Sure.
And then actually having to go back to actually even assess what that is to get to these places authentically.
I guess, yeah, role playing's great. That's a great way to put it. I never really thought about it, but we are, because we're playing out what's physically happening inside of us. So if you're vibrating at a low level, and maybe that's because you're in fear. I believe there's only fear and there's love. There's
Right.
2 ways to vibrate.
Right.
And so if you're vibrating in fear, I want to get in there and figure out what's that fear attached to. And it's typically one of those 5 words. And I will say the word, and you will come up with a feeling on that word. And I will say, okay, drop inside. And typically between the throat and the hips is where we feel our life. But we're so fast-paced, we don't think about it. And I want to say, as business owners, especially as women, we're hit with our stuff really quick when we trudge out and we say we're going to become business owners. I have never dealt more with my stuff than I have when I became a business owner.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's synonymous to your personal life.
Absolutely. Everything that you thought you dealt with for 20 years in therapy reemerges. All your insecurities, all your fears. And this program that I have really helps women come past those fears and realize, because I believe that the Creator gave us everything we need.
Right.
And so why don't we access it? Because we don't know how. And so I want to teach that.
That's nice. That's nice. I'm so happy to even have you here sharing this with us because from this place of understanding that, it all starts inside. It all comes from inside. And sometimes things happen in life where, they kind of present themselves in one way, but really they mean something else. And that's where that intuitive aspect comes in. It's been really nice having you on today. Now, what would you like any ladies that are viewing us right now to leave with, aside from knowing that, yes, you have this wonderful program that you offer and these wonderful coaching services? Just if somebody's listening right now.
I really want every woman to understand that she has the power to be whatever it is that she decides to be. And that there are choices. And I know sometimes it feels like there aren't choices, but there are choices. And don't go it alone. Figure out who's a good fit for you. Get a mentor. Find a program. Do something so that you feel supported. And the way that I do it is through spirituality.
Beautiful. Thank you. Couldn't have said it any better.
Thank you.
Nice. All right. Once again, for more on Veronica Drake, you can check out her website, veronicadrake.co, just .co, and we'll be right back with the author of Martina Finds a Shiny Coin right here on Open. But first, the Van Cortlandt Philharmonic hosted a luncheon recently, and the BronxNet cameras were there. Let's take a look.
Community development organization Nos Quedamos was holding an open house event at Melrose Avenue in order to promote some of its major functions like development of affordable and sustainable housing, advocacy for the environmental justice, and providing direct services to the public at low costs.
Today is our open house. We coined it Summer Solstice. In part is to celebrate our 20th year anniversary, and the other part of it is to showcase a number of proposals that we have coming down the pipeline for this year that we need to start garnering support for.
Creation of the affordable housing in the Bronx was one of the biggest issues brought up.
I would like a one-bedroom to be affordable as low as $800. Based on the person's salary, and if their salary doesn't increase, then I don't see that the rent should increase at all. I mean, it should go based on what they're making. They're constantly reviewing on a yearly basis their salary. If the salary hasn't increased, leave the rent as it is.
We don't have to displace people from the community that they already know. Like sometimes seniors want to live in their own place, and we put them in a senior citizen home, but they don't feel comfortable. But when they're in a familiar place, they feel comfortable and they don't become depressed. And it's the same thing with people that live in a community for a long time. We change them out of their environment and they don't feel the same way.
Health welfare issues were also addressed at the event.
This area of the South Bronx, of the 10 worst districts of diabetes, 10 are in the Bronx. Of the 10 in the Bronx, 3 are right here in this district, and this is one of them. Worst child obesity rate in the state here. The worst asthma in the entire United States is here. This is Asthma Alley. AIDS is going down throughout the country. AIDS is increasing in this district.
Regardless, some positive resolutions have been found and some great programs have been implemented.
We've been doing so many things together, like a health fair, Go Green events, and targeting the seniors population. On the senior population side, in Health First, we bring up here the service for them, Medicare don't pay. We help them to pay the co-payment for prescription, hearing aids, inpatient hospital, transportation, international coverage, and emergency and urgent care, and also our new program in Health First, Senior Partner, who provide seniors assessment for the senior who has low resources and they need like a home attendant, home health aide, and other services.
Creating community gardens has been a great program that's targeted to help the Bronx residents to develop healthier eating habits.
We grow vegetables, tomatoes, okra, corn, you name it. Whatever could be grown here in the summer, we try to grow it.
I would say the fact that our name, We Stay, is a commitment that's not only the name, it's our mission, right? The fact that it's important that as a community we should be able to live and raise our children here in the South Bronx, that we should be able to identify exactly what the purpose is for our future and be the creators of that.
Creating affordable housing, implementing gardening, and educating community. Those are some of the ways through which organizers of Nos Quedamos event are trying to improve living conditions in Bronx. Reporting from BronxNet, Lilia Udina.
welcome back to the show. Many moons ago, in an enchanted island, Martina finds a shiny coin. This new adaptation of the folktale of Martina and Perez is reimagined by a former Bronx prosecutor who now works for the Department of Education. Please welcome author Yahira Gonzalez Taylor. Hello and welcome.
How are you?
Good.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. Now, how does a former Bronx prosecutor go from being a prosecutor to becoming a children's book author?
Well, before I was any of that, I was a Jibara.
Right.
And I lived in the mountains. I'm what you call a hybrid Puerto Rican. I went back and forth between Bronx and Puerto Rico many, many times as a kid growing up. So I
Can we just define Jibara to everybody?
Jibara is somebody who lives in the mountainous areas of Puerto Rico, who swims in the river, who eats from their backyard, who runs around barefoot. And who just, it's a very simple way of life.
Nice.
At least back when I was growing up in this place. But I got the Bronx, hung out in the fire escape in the 70s during the blackout, and I got to hang out with my friends in the river. So all of those experiences is what formed me, what I call myself a Jibara. I'm very proud to be that. Some people give it
I like it. She's like, I'm very proud to be a Jibara.
Some people give it a negative connotation and make it sound like it's somebody who's uneducated. But I think that if you look at your own culture and you research what a Jibara is and the kind of things that they did musically and poetically, very, very artistic and talented people who were able to come up with these poems on the spot with no cue. And that continues. That's a culture that continues on the island.
Which kind of lends itself to folklore, right?
Yeah, it's folkloric, right.
And on top of that, the story that you actually did this adaptation is a folkloric story that isn't necessarily in a book form.
Right. So it's an Afro-Caribbean folk tale. Originally known, some people may know it as Martina and Perez, some people may know it as Martina and Miguel, and some people know it as La Cucarachita Martina. And there have been some other versions, but my version focuses on Puerto Rico and this particular part of the island where I'm from, which is Borinquencaguas. I come from deep in by the mountains from a place called Las Parcelas Viejas, and it's basically public land given to people so they could build their homes, and people live there and they share, and it's a really good community, a very humble community. So Martina is an adaptation of the old story with a little bit of new stories, and the illustrations have some real images of where I grew up, which is when you first come to where I'm from. That's the little house that you see.
Okay, so then this is actually it's somewhat biographical, is what you're saying, right?
Not
the
completely,
story
but
itself,
yes.
but the illustration, so that it kind of loaned itself to kind of reminiscing your past of being a Jibara.
Exactly.
Got it.
Exactly. So Martina finds a shiny coin, and she decides to go on a shopping trip. But she gets more than she bargained for. She starts to discover all sorts of things about herself and other people, other animals, because it is a fable. So she starts discovering all sorts of things about herself and other animals, and it's basically a journey of self-discovery, a journey into realizing what you really are all about.
Okay.
And what that means.
And the reason I even mentioned that, as far as like your occupation is because even though you're a proud Jibara, it's just, I can only imagine the things that you have seen or have witnessed, and the fact that you work for the Board of Ed as a hearing person, right? For the at-risk youth, which means obviously your concerns, as well as being a mom, are for the next generation.
Yes. I love the fact that I get to work with young people. I get perspectives that aren't really visible to the general public from people and the things that they go through. And not only from that experience, not only as a prosecutor working with my own people from this community where I am from, what I got from all those experiences is that sometimes we don't really look within ourselves to see what we're really worth, and that kind of gets us into trouble sometimes. That a little bit of that is in here too, just a message of self-love and to love yourself.
Right, regardless of what you look like, where you come from, because the reason you chose these particular animals, which I don't believe we mentioned what Martina is yet.
Martina's a cockroach.
Right.
And there are other animals in the book that are not really the most lovable animals in the world. I happen not to like cockroaches, but I love my Martina. I
Right.
will love my Martina forever.
Because it's the story. It's not
it's
about
the story
her
is
being,
not about her being a cockroach.
right. It's more about her actually. excuse me. It's more about her actually being a person inside.
Right. And she's a cellist. She's a singer. She reads. She loves to read about elephants, butterflies, and circuses near and far. And she's a bomba and a plena dancer. So she has all these gifts that she sort of puts on the shelf and doesn't realize they're there for her to use to really put herself out there.
We're looking at some of the illustration right now, and we must share with everyone the fact that she's a cellist is because you have a lovely cellist in your home.
Yes, my Catalina Lao, like the salsa song, she plays the cello. So she suggested, when we were writing the story together, because we told the story over and over again every night, and I said, one day I said, let's just write it. So we started writing it, and she said, let her play the cello, and she designed Martina's costumes.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
she designed the
And how old is
costumes.
she?
She's 5.
She's 5 years old. Wow,
Yes.
what a great instrument to have her play. I feel sorry for you when you know she gets bigger though. That's a big instrument.
Yeah,
to carry.
yeah, it is. It is.
Community
it is.
But it's
Development
classical.
Organization
So,
Nos Quedamos.
lovely,
It
lovely,
is,
lovely,
yes.
lovely.
So I have a book for your daughter, for
Okay,
Charm Vida.
nice, yes.
And if it's okay if I read the dedication? Because I
Absolutely.
think this applies to any child and any person, any human.
Appreciate that very much.
To Charm Vida, music, reading, and love, always good for your soul. With love from Jadira.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you. And you know, my daughter's an avid reader already, and she's only 4.
Very good.
So you know, we have to put them together because the fact that yours plays the cello, I love that. I mean, you know, it's something. It's a great instrument, but more than anything, why did you choose that instrument?
Well, actually, it goes back to the Department of Education. And life, it really is a lot about finding shiny coins. And when I was looking for educational opportunities for my older daughters who are in high school now, I found KIPP, K-I-P-P, Knowledge is Power Program, which is a charter school. Most people know. There's one in the South Bronx. And the two older ones who are now in high school ended up going there. And Alia, my middle one, ended up playing cello with a wonderful teacher, Annie Gibler. And so that got us, that was our shiny coin. We found that shiny coin through Annie Gibler, who introduced us to the love of cello, which I'd never really had exposure to, being a jibara. All I know is about cuatro, guiro,
the folkloric
maracas.
instruments.
So I never really had exposure to classical, what they call quote unquote classical string music. That was our shiny coin. And so life is a series, to me, life is a series of shiny coins and serendipity and hard work. And when you put both of those together, you're good.
That's nice. I like the way you kept relating
Yes.
it to the shiny coin
Yes.
because the shiny coin obviously is a metaphor of life.
Yes.
It's about knowing when something is there that you really need to like
Grab it up.
yeah,
Yes.
and make the most out of
Yes.
it and run with it.
Yes.
Yeah, and share it because that's
Absolutely.
what she does also in
Share
the story.
it with the world.
Yes. 'cause
Always
that's-
share.
Yeah, because that's how we all grow together.
Yes.
Beautiful. Well, where can people find this book?
Different ways. Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, or eBay. I have my own store on eBay. They can buy it directly from me on eBay.
Are you going to be doing any book reading stories anywhere?
I'm working on that right now because it was just published on the 31st of July.
Congratulations.
So you're actually my first and hopefully not last promotional event.
Well, congratulations on having the book published. Congratulations on having it out on Amazon. And just congratulations on being a mom and actually a person of purpose within our borough who is really out to make a difference for the next generation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so Martina finds a shiny coin. That's a story of life,
Yes,
right?
thank
By Yahira Gonzalez Taylor. Thank you again.
Thanks.
All right, so once again, to find out where to buy the book, you can go to facebook.com/Martina Finds a Shiny Coin. We'll be right back with Bobby C, but first, check out what our BronxNet cameras captured at the recent Nos Quedamos event in Melrose.
When was the last time you had dinner in the park? Well, our friends at Van Cortlandt Park wanted to make sure that happened in addition to honoring 2 local heroes. The dinner served as a fundraiser for Friends of Van Cortlandt. The sold-out event brought together lovers of the park who want to see the community continue to enjoy it.
Parks become sometimes the only valve. It's like the living room for people who live in crowded apartments.
Dinner took place on the lawn right in front of the historic Van Cortlandt House Museum, owned by the National Society of Colonial Dames. They partnered with Friends of Van Cortlandt to host the event. Chair of the Van Cortlandt Committee, Rebecca Alford, was the mistress of ceremony for the night's festivities.
It is the enthusiasm, I think, for people to get together in the summer, to come sit on our grounds and have a picnic and just say hi to friends.
In between dinner, Friends honored two longtime contributors to the Bronx, George A. Nelson, an adopted Bronxite originally from Connecticut, who volunteered his time to give tours at the Bronx Zoo.
It's almost a public duty if you have the spare time to try and improve the world.
Second was Dr. Roscoe Brown. Dr. Brown, a board member for Friends of Van Cortlandt, also sits on other boards, both local and national. Known as a hero, Dr. Brown also commanded the 100 Fighter Squadron in World War II as a Tuskegee Airman.
Everybody ought to be doing something to help the community, and I had the opportunity to do it, and the visibility, and I did it.
City Councilman Oliver Coppell spoke about the importance of the event and his appreciation to Dr. Brown.
You know, as someone who is the son of refugees from Nazi Germany, I feel a very special debt of gratitude to Roscoe Brown. He's a real hero to me.
The event ended with everyone heading over to listen to the New York Philharmonic Band.
You can easily become a member of this beautiful park by logging on to vancortlandt.org. For BronxNet, I'm Veronica Boypen.
We begin on the baseball diamond where the Bronx Bombers are returning home from their road trip tonight. The boys in pinstripes have lost 4 in a row and 5 of their last 6, culminating with a hard-to-swallow loss to Chicago Wednesday in extras. The White Sox got to Mariano Rivera with a lead, and even after Robinson Cano provided what looked to be the game-winning home run in the 12th, Adam Warren couldn't hold the slim lead in the eventual 6-5 loss. The Yanks are back in the Bronx for a 7-game homestand with the LA Angels and the Detroit Tigers. They'll have 3 with the Tigers this weekend and then 4 against the Angels during the week. Tonight's homestand opener will mark the first home game of the season for Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod, who is officially fighting his steroid suspension from Major League Baseball, rejoined the ball club on the road trip in Chicago. It remains to be seen what kind of reception Rodriguez will receive, but I'll assume some Bronx jeers for Alex. The Yanks are 1 game over 500 following a terrible stretch since the All-Star break. Yankee President Randy Levine told ESPN New York that he's not sure if the team can make the playoffs this season. Meanwhile, the New York Mets put together a very nice series against Colorado this week. Starter Dylan Gee was impressive in Thursday's matinee as the Mets earned a 2-1 win. Gee pitched into the 8th inning a day after the young ace of the Mets, Matt Harvey, tossed his first career shutout. In the process, the Mets completed their first 3-game sweep over the Rockies since 2008 at Shea Stadium. Now the Mets will look to build off the strong homestand as they embark on a lengthy West Coast swing starting tonight in Arizona. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. We'll stay with baseball and note Joe Girardi's talk with Alabama football. Girardi returned the favor to the team's head coach Nick Saban after his spring training visit to the Yanks. Girardi spoke to Bama about handling expectations and success. Major expectations for the upcoming NBA season here in New York. The trash talking has already begun. Knicks star J.R. Smith thinks his team is the marquee team in New York, while New Brooklyn net Paul Pierce came out this week and said his hatred for the Knicks is growing. He disliked the Knicks as a member of the Celtics, and Pierce believes it's time for the Nets to start running the city. The Knicks and Nets will meet 4 times this season, with December 5th at the Barclays as the first of the 4 meetings on the schedule. On the hardwood, the Knicks swung a nice deal this week, inking veteran guard Bino Udrih for 1 year, $1.27 million. He made plenty more last season and will now enter this season as a backup for starter Raymond Felton. He, Pablo Prigioni, and Felton should combine for some respectable point guard play. On the ice, although the ownership situation for the New Jersey Devils remains unresolved, reports from the NHL indicate that the league won't take over the cash-strapped franchise. The NHL was making headlines in the Bronx on Thursday. The league spent the morning at Yankee Stadium as all 3 New York area teams gathered to announce the details of the 2 outdoor games that will be played at the big ballpark. On January 26th, the Devils and the New York Rangers will play at 12:30 p.m. And on January 29th, the New York Islanders and Rangers will square off under the lights at 7:30 p.m. The 2 games are a part of a 6-game outdoor schedule for the 2013-14 season. Games will also be played in Chicago, Los Angeles, Vancouver, and Michigan Stadium, the home of the Winter Classic for this upcoming season. To the NFL, where the preseason kicked off last weekend in Canton, Dallas won the annual Hall of Fame game 24-20, topping Miami in the opening game of the NFL season. Both the New York Giants and Jets will be in action this weekend as they open their preseason schedules. The G-men begin in Pittsburgh Saturday night, but maybe without defensive leader Justin Tuck, who missed a second straight day of practice Thursday with stiffness in his back. The Jets open their preseason schedule tonight in Detroit, where Mark Sanchez says he has earned the start under center. Rookie QB Geno Smith believes the Sanchez start in Game 1 won't mean anything long term. He's ready to challenge for the starting job. Speaking of quarterbacks, the brothers Manning have done it again with an incredible commercial for DirecTV. Do yourself a favor and check it out online. Eli and Peyton can quarterback, and the two can rap too. It was a wrap for two football careers in New York this week. Giant Deion Grant decided to hang them up, and Brandon Moore called it a career for the Jets. Enjoy retirement, fellas. On the street ball circuit, the Hoops in the Sun Pro-Am will conclude its season this weekend at Orchard Beach. Hits has playoffs on tap for Saturday and the championship set for this Sunday out in the Bronx. The Nike Pro City title was decided on Thursday night at Baruch, and the franchise/Sean Bell squad remained undefeated on the year, topping Big Apple basketball in overtime. Sean Bell has only one loss this entire summer season, and that came at the beach. We'll see if they can win a title at Hits this weekend. And on a final sad sports roundup note, the Jackie Robinson statue in front of the Brooklyn Cyclones ballpark, the Class A affiliate of the New York Mets, was desecrated this week with racial slurs and swastikas. The Daily News has offered a $10,000 reward to catch the vandals. Those are the headlines. Here's a much brighter story, the Bronx sports story of the week. Knicks great Allen Houston made a career of game-saving shots, and on Wednesday afternoon in the Bronx, the former All-Star that used to light the stage that is Madison Square Garden lit the faces of those youth taking in a mini basketball clinic at Bronx Works Community Center on the Grand Concourse. This time, Houston's jumpers were more than game savers. They were life changers.
We talk about mechanics, doing things the right way, and in life you can always do things the right way. It takes a lot of hard work to become a good shooter or good at anything, and we talk about sacrificing. What are you really willing to do and put into your goal to get to achieve your goal?
Organizers were delighted by his message, which included promoting life lesson terms like sacrifice, leadership, and legacy.
The kids need to see people that look like them and people that came from the places they come from go on to do wonderful things. So the fact that he came back and encouraged them to continue with their education and to keep believing in their dreams is amazing.
Bronx Works helps individuals and families improve their economic and social well-being. The youth on hand Wednesday were roughly ages 12 to 17 and seemed to really connect with Houston, now 42, and retired from playing the game he uses to teach life lessons about.
If I were to give that message to someone younger, I would use it because it's a very good explanation of life and how you go through things and how you're supposed to think of things. You're supposed to live life like happy.
And for those on hand Wednesday, Houston's jumpers were even more empowering than ever before, even if some of the youth were too young to remember Houston, the player.
He's one of my new role models after today. He inspired me. The way he looks at things, his perspective, I like that. And he interacted with us. And he was just fun to be around.
You have a voice when you have something that you can give back. I feel like it's an obligation, and it's something you do because you gotta love it, you gotta embrace it, and to be able to look at them and see what they can be.
Keep shooting, my friend. I'm Bobby C. We'll take a quick timeout and be back with more Open after this.
Hello, I'm Congressman Serrano, here to give you some good news. Coming in October, the healthcare law will roll out the Health Insurance Marketplace, which will help you get coverage that meets your needs and fits your budget. When you use the Health Insurance Marketplace, you'll fill out an application and find out if you can get lower costs on your monthly premiums, or if you and your family qualify for free or low-cost coverage through Medicaid or the Children's Health Insurance Program. Open enrollment starts October 1st, 2013. Plans and prices will be available then. Coverage starts as soon as January 1, 2014. Now is the time to learn more about the new healthcare options. Go to healthcare.gov or call 1-800-318-2596. We are all going to see great benefits from the new healthcare options. Don't delay in learning more.
Hi, this is Jeff Fox for 107.5 WBLS, and when I get off the radio, I check out my man, the Dr. Bob Lee and Cool Clyde. It's open on BronxNet. I never miss it.
How you doing? I just want regular, no sugar today.
You got it.
Thanks. Hello. Hi. Did you eat that whole thing today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing?
She's getting big, huh?
Big. Yeah, she is big. Great haircut.
Yeah.
Looks cute. Come on, let's go. Nice to see you. Thanks a lot.
If only child abuse were this easy to recognize. If you even suspect abuse, call 1-800-4-A-CHILD. All calls are anonymous and confidential. Trust your instincts.
Low-fat cheese sandwiches on whole wheat bread. Chewy and good for you. Snacks high in calcium help build strong bones. And foods rich in fiber are good for your heart. So you have the power to dominate. Can your food do that? Run, throw, think, eat better. Find out more at smallstep.gov.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So here are the keys. Congratulations, it's officially yours. I'm sure you'll have many happy years here. Except for you, because you'll be gone 3 years from now, struck down by the same disease that got your father. So you won't be around for them. And sadly, it could have been detected early with a simple test, but you didn't have it. Okay, who wants to check out the backyard?
For a list of tests every man should have, go to ahrq.gov.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Open. Let's take a look as David Sherman graces our open stage with an acoustic performance. It is now time for our Open Flashback.
The Open Artist Spotlight is made possible in part with public funds from the Bronx Council on the Arts through the New York State Council on the Arts Decentralization Program.
Our open artist started his guitar career at age 15 with dreams of starting his own band. And throughout his college years at SUNY, he played in a band, Kakiat. His most recent gig was played at Spike Hill, and he's currently working on an album as a vocalist. Please welcome to our open stages, David Schnurman!
This is an LMFAO song called I'm Sexy and I Know It. When I walk on by, girls be looking like, damn, he's fly. It's when I pimp the beat and I'm walking down the street with my new lap freak, yeah. This is how I roll, leopard skin pants and it's out of control. I wear fruit with a big afro, like Bruce Lee, I got the glow. Oh, oh, girl, look at that body. Oh, oh, girl, look at that body. Yeah. Oh, oh, girl, look at that body. I work out. When I'm at the spot, this is what I see. Everybody's staring at me. I got a passion in my pants, and I ain't afraid of knows it, knows it, knows it, girl, yeah. I'm sexy and I know it. 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 When I'm at the mall, security just can't fight them off. And when I'm at the beach, I'm rocking that speedo, try to tan my cheeks, yeah. This is how I roll. Come on, ladies, it's time to go. No, you're not, and I still get serious. Oh, oh, girl, look at that body. Oh, oh, girl, look at that body, yeah. Oh, oh, girl, look at that body. I work out. So wiggle, 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 yeah. Wiggle, 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 yeah. Wiggle, wiggle, yeah. I work out.
That is such a cool rendition of it.
Thank you so much.
I'm like, wiggle, wiggle. You know, it's like, wiggle, wiggle.
I should probably give credit where credit is due there. It's
Right.
actually it's an arrangement by a guy named Noah Guthrie. He's a great new artist. You can check him out too online. Fascinating guy.
Awesome, awesome. No, this is very cool. So, just share with us where are you playing these, your rendition of these songs? Because you were playing an actual, like, best of like alternative music prior to us getting on air.
Oh, well, it's you know, I actually just split up with my band, so I'm really starting to try and work on my my originals and my you know, my solo career and all that. So I'm really just kind of starting out, and doing covers is a really great way to kind of get your name out there and show what you can do. So I'm having fun.
Yeah, well, we had fun watching you do
Thanks
your
so much.
wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So just share with everyone where they can find more information on you and where you're playing.
Very good. Again, my name is David Schnurman. You can check me out my Facebook page, www.facebook.com. Search David Schnurman or / David Schnurman. And I don't have any shows booked at the moment, but you know, check out that site. I'll keep you all posted, and you can come see me again sometime.
Awesome. Well, you can play me out while we take a break, all right?
All right.
All right, David Schnurman, everyone. All right, for more on David, you can check out his Facebook page by going to facebook.com/David Schnurman. All right. Like I said, we have to take a quick break right now, but when we come back, Bobby C's got his sports roundup. And welcome back to Open Real Time. The Male Awareness Foundation recently hosted a health event. Bronx correspondent Arlene Makoko brings us the story.
It's all about male health and awareness here at the Suncopa Cafe at 174th Street and Southern Boulevard. There, big-name hip-hop pioneers gather to address an issue that gets too little mention when it comes to men's health.
No disrespect to the women, but I seen a football player with a pink sneaker on. I seen him with a pink ribbon in his hand. I seen a pink sweatband. I said, why no one cares about males? We said what we need to do is start focusing on men, which is called Male Awareness Foundation. Now we want to see people wearing blues because men actually get breast cancer too, but we don't promote it as much as we should.
Benson, who manages hip-hop legend Ice-T, got together with him and a few others, including urban artist Khalil Lundy, to talk about creating an event to encourage men to get tested for breast and prostate cancer.
So it's important that us as males take it serious, that, you know, to check ourselves out. You know, people like Heavy D pass. I could go on for days, artists that pass, and not just artists, but people in general that you don't even know or may have heard of, just pass of simple things. And it could have been taken care of for just getting a simple checkup.
The site already is a spot dedicated to good health
be healthy, to do the things that you like to do. So for me, being organic and eating the right food is very important. It's the most important thing, because if I'm healthy, I can learn, can go to school. If I'm healthy, I can work. Most of the time I get the protein shake, the one with protein powder and bananas. And I get the tropical surprise every time I want to have a lot of vitamin C and a lot of fruits in my juice.
Words co-owner Kevin Bean likes to hear. Bean decided to show us what it takes to put a health shake together.
Well, it is a lot of vitamin C, but a lot of vitamins all from the fruits, like this berry right here, the blue one. Anytime you get a lot of this, works good for the kidneys and the heart. Yeah.
On the turntables was the legendary Grand Wizard Theodore.
I taught myself how to DJ, and basically all the stuff I was teaching myself is what all DJs do today, and the rest is history.
Other artists that participated included Force MDs and Johannes Wilson of Lassa Move Records.
As men grow up, they need to see the difference between their health and know where they're coming from and where they're going. So I think it's a very important foundation for male youth and adults. So
if we done told hip-hop and told the story about so many things, now it's time to get into the health of our people, and all people for that matter.
We want our fathers and our grandfathers to be around. We want our sons to be around. We want everybody to stick around.
But all the action was at the Shake Bar, where a few of us toasted to good health.
To our health.
Oh, that's another freebie.
Cheers. To find out more about the Male Awareness Foundation and to get your own tropical surprise, you can come on down to the Suncofa Cafe. It's on Southern Boulevard and 174th Street. For BronxNet, this is Arlene Makoko.
And thank you for that, Arlene Makoko. Off to Suncofa for a nice protein shake. And that is our show, people. Special thanks to all of our guests for stopping by and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can tune into the Recablecast tonight and throughout the weekend here on BronxNet. And of course, 24 hours a day, we are online at bronxnet.org. Once again, I'm Rena Valentin. And from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide peace, prosperity, and love. Mwah. Adios. I'm glad you came. Go this, yeah. I'll dance it off.